From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
Hello and welcome to the February 16th edition of Carolina Week. I'm Anthony Stokes.
And I'm Courtney Robinson. Our top story tonight. It looks like Punxsutawney Phil was right after another blast of snow hit the Triangle Sunday. The snow came hard and heavy at times. Parts of Orange County received as much as 3 to 5 inches of snow. At least one UNC student took full advantage of the ideal snowball making conditions. Temperatures warmed Monday and melted most of the snow. Some patches of snow remained, but most of the walkways and roads around Chapel Hill were clear by midday. Forecasters at the National Weather Service are predicting more snow will hit the area Tuesday night.
And then there were two. The student body president race comes to an end Tuesday night. From last week's 8 candidates, the two who received the most votes, Matt Calabria and Lily West, will participate in Tuesday's runoff election. Carolina Week's Catherine Chang tells us Matt Calabria is more than just buttons and a platform.
Calabria has deep roots in middle-class America.
Grew up in New Jersey, about 10 minutes from the George Washington Bridge. Lived in a medium-sized house. I lived right across from a church.
Calabria says he enjoyed being the president of his debate club in high school, but his campaign manager and high school debate adversary Trey Jones says he didn't like the way Calabria came prepared.
I did not like the way he debated. He was very loud and we're very over-prepared, and so he would sort of load you with all these arguments, but then it was never a fun debate.
Calabria was also one of only a few high school students who worked for the CNN Student Bureau. He remembers one experience particularly well.
Al Gore, when he was campaigning, got to come to one of the middle schools in Charlotte, so I was actually able to go and to talk to him really briefly. And send it to CNN, so it was really cool.
And Calabria might have always been too busy to get in trouble. He says he remembers getting slapped on the wrist only once.
I got detention once in 2nd grade because, I don't know, I think a friend of mine and I just thought that something was absolutely hilarious and just continued to laugh to the point where the teacher said, "All right, you're staying afterwards."
One of Calabria's core campaigners, Bernard Holloway, says Calabria's UNC record isn't quite perfect either.
So for this raucous party with beer pong and like 40 or 50 people in like a 3-person room. And so of course they get outed. I mean, it gets about that the RA calls like the resident director, the assistant resident director, and they come up there and they knock on the door and they bust the party. So I think Matt's funniest thing is that he has a campus rap sheet for partying and is technically right now on residence hall suspension.
Calabria hasn't thrown any more parties in his room, but he still manages to spend time at his friends' parties, even in the thick of the campaign season. Calabria's friends say they appreciate his ability to balance work with personal relationships.
It's his loyalty. Like, as a friend, he's always there for you, and he's always asking you specifically what he can do for you.
Matt, above all else, is a really hard worker. I've known him for a very long time and have seen him in many capacities on this campus. And when he believes in something, he truly believes in it, and he will go to any length to see it accomplished.
And whether he's working in the pit for 6 hours on a Friday afternoon or eating his first meal of the day after midnight, Calabria seems to value hard work and lots of it.
I was raised Catholic, and when it came time for me to be confirmed, you have to pick a patron saint or a patron, and I picked Saint Joseph, who's the patron saint of the worker. Just really working hard at something I think is really underrated.
Calabria says despite all the hard work he has expended in the campaign, his goals extend beyond winning.
And I just really want to make sure that I left this place knowing that I did some good, that I helped people, and maybe learn something for whatever that's worth in the process.
In Chapel Hill, I'm Catherine Chang, Carolina Week.
Calabria placed 2nd in the first round of voting, but he's confident about the runoff.
You see her all across campus, her name plastered on campaign signs, but chances are you don't know much about the other runoff candidate, Lily West. Here's an up-close and personal look.
Junior Lily West hails from our nation's capital and might have been born to be the student leader at Carolina.
On a smaller scale, I was student body president.
In high school, West took on a major challenge while leading the school.
The student body president, though, my senior year in high school was a big job because I decided to rewrite my school's constitution for dealing with basically student government and its policies on students. And also, I was head of the honor board.
Besides leading the student body, what makes her tick?
But I just love being outside and being active, physically, like giving off energy. I have a lot of energy, I feel like, in my system.
West says her family is very supportive and unique.
My whole family is just really weird, and like we're just chaos. Like we don't ever arrive anywhere, we kind of like fall into a place.
So what would her family members say if they were here?
My mom would just probably be worried, but my dad would just be telling me to stop worrying so much. So they're different. And my twin brother and sister would just think it'd be cool that my face is all over the place, I think.
Wes has a close-knit group of friends at UNC.
We're a motley crew. We're just kind of all, this kind of weird group of people who just ended up together at Carolina and now are friends. So, but we love it. So.
Wes says some of her best memories are here at Carolina.
Spring breaks, I love. I go with my girlfriends, and I'd say both spring breaks were a blast. They were crazy and a blast. And then I have to say my second semester, my sophomore year, had to be my best semester, and that's when I met Alistair.
Sorry guys, Lily's off the market. She's been dating Alistair Cooper for a year. Cooper says he has no doubts that West is the best candidate.
She is the only candidate left that is truly of the people. She really can de facto represent the hearts and minds of the student body. I firmly believe that.
So what would she change about the place we all love?
I don't know. I don't know what I'd change. I guess maybe more grass when we have all this construction. Because I love, my favorite thing, well, besides being in the pit at 12 o'clock on like a spring day, is lying on the grass like in the spring.
Be sure to catch our runoff election special live from Carroll Hall Tuesday night starting at 10 to find out whether Matt Calabria or Lily West will be the incoming SBP. The Campus Y is known for promoting social justice, but what about social dating? The Campus Y sponsored a date auction as part of its Save the Children campaign. Participants even included student body president runoff candidates Lily West and Matt Calabria. Some auctionees tried to attract higher bids by making use of their own special talents. A cappella groups like the Accordants and the Harmonics performed. The Y raised more than $1,300 for the cause.
In other news, the KKK and the American Nazi Party are coming together to fight for what they call a brighter, whiter America. The National Socialist Movement says it's honoring George Washington by sponsoring a white unity rally at the state capitol on Saturday, February 21st. Various campus groups are coming together to form an anti-hate coalition against the movement. Organizers say the group plans to send out its own message on Saturday. The group will meet this week to discuss the final details of its protest.
Well, what's now a small movie theater could turn out to be one of the biggest in Chapel Hill.
Some neighboring business owners aren't too happy about the idea. We'll tell you why coming up.
I helped turn my child's public school into a whole new kind of school. One with a curriculum that really motivates kids. One that has extended hours, 6 days a week, year-round. With loads of academic, cultural, and recreational activities. One that has support services like medical and dental right there. A school where parents' involvement is encouraged. Where teachers have more time to teach. And students are excited about learning. There's just one problem. My child doesn't ever want to come home. You can help turn your school into a community school for excellence. Find out how. Call 1-877-LOVE-TO-LEARN.
Neighbors of what could be the biggest movie theater in Chapel Hill are voicing their concerns. After Eastern Federal Theaters announced the expansion of Village Plaza Theater, neighboring shop owners began to criticize the plan. Now it's up to the town council to decide whether to grant a special use building permit allowing the expansion. Some shop owners say if the theater is allowed to expand, there won't be enough parking spaces for their customers.
They have out there right now, I think 109 is what I've been told, 109. And they're going to have over 1,600 seats. And they're allowing 4 people per car. So that's not enough parking spaces.
Owners of the new theater argue they'll be attracting customers with amenities such as comfortable stadium seating and gourmet concessions. The town council has scheduled a vote for March 15th.
February is Black History Month, and many in the community celebrate it by attending a special film festival in Durham. The 10th annual Black Diaspora Film Festival was held at the Hayti Heritage Center on Saturday. The festival focused on how blacks and other minorities are portrayed in the media. Local filmmakers took the opportunity to display their works of art. Supporters say they enjoy the unique event.
It brings a lot of people of color in particular to Durham and to the Hayti to experience film, and not just film done by bigger people, but by some of us little guys too.
The event showcased about 25 black films.
That sounds like a fun event, but what was even more fun to watch last night was the Maryland-UNC game.
It was fun.
We will have highlights of the men's basketball game, the women's basketball game, and also Anson Dorrance announces his soccer recruiting class for next season. Which brings us to our sports trivia question of the week. Which UNC team had the best recruiting class this season? Was it football, baseball, women's lacrosse, or rowing? We'll let you know when Carolina Week Sports returns.
Properly inflating my tires burns less fuel and saves me money on gas. Yeah, I'm saving Mother Nature from pollution, but more importantly, she saved me $11. Ow!
Environmental defense. Get green.
By keeping my car regularly tuned, I save money on gas and repairs. That also means cleaner air. You know, feels good to help save the cash, planet.
Environmental defense. Get green. For more tips, go to getgreen.com.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
So far this season, it's been a crapshoot as to which Tar Heel basketball team will show up on a given day. At times, they've looked like the best team in the nation, and other times, the play's been, well, less than stellar. Against the Maryland Terrapins Sunday, the Heels came out strong early and built a 20-point halftime lead thanks to tough defense and smooth transition basketball. Second half, different story. The Heels came out flat and committed 12 of their season-high 22 turnovers, and one certain Tar Heel failed to make a field goal for the first time in his career. Rashad McCants, Jawad Williams, and the aforementioned 20-point lead offset that as Carolina hangs on for a very important 97-86 win. The largest crowd in Carolina women's basketball history watched the Dean Dome contest between Carolina and Duke Saturday night. Ivory Latta puts the Heels on top early, but Duke pulls out its secret weapon. 5'5" Vicky Craypole kills Carolina from behind the arc. Into the first half, Isis Tillis nails the three to give the Blue Devils an 8-point halftime lead. Second half, it's Craypole again. Devils go up by double digits. But Leah Metcalf leads a furious Tar Heel comeback to cut the lead to 6. Duke just has too many weapons as Elena Beard caps an 89-79 win. Beard says there was one big difference late in the game.
And I think when the game, became kind of close, we got stops, and that's what great teams do. They get stops when the game is tight.
With 31 points Saturday, Beard became the second leading scorer in Duke basketball history for both women and men. Women's soccer head coach Anson Dorrance has released the names of the 7 recruits who've signed letters of intent to play for the Heels. With 2 defensive starters graduating from the 2003 National Championship squad, Dorrance focused on defense, signing 4 defenders and a goalie. But the highest touted recruit comes on the offensive side of the ball. Forward Jamie Gilbert of Massachusetts is a parade All-American and a member of the U.S. Under-19 national team. Things are looking good for the men's lacrosse team. The 8th-ranked Heels took on 11th-ranked Hofstra in the first game of a doubleheader on Sunday. In their last day of exhibition games, the two teams faced off in what could only be called a hard-hitting match. In situations like this, anyone could and did end up with a score. Sophomore attack man Scott Falatek had a breakout game, scoring 4 goals, but both teams making big-time shots in what was up to the Heels' All-America goalkeeper to keep Carolina ahead. Junior Paul Spellman made not 1, not 2, but 3 key stops to help lead the Heels to an 11-8 victory. He says he can't take all the credit.
They were getting shots from like 10 and 12 yards out, which isn't too tough of a save for me to make. And they were coming from good angles. So altogether, I mean, our defense did a really good job placing the guys.
The Heels also defeated Washington and Lee University in their second match, 10-5. The gymnastics team can outbalance, out-tumble, and out-beam even the best competition. The Heels swept the Hart Invitational, winning every event on Friday in Raleigh. UNC beat out NC State, William & Mary, and James Madison. The softball Lady Tar Heels opened the Triangle Classic on Valentine's Day in Elon, defeating Elon 4-1, and James Madison 4-0. The Heels beat Radford and Raleigh 8-0. The women's tennis team won on a close match against Tennessee Sunday 4-3. The Heels took the doubles point and the last 2 singles matches to clinch the win. The men's team upset the 14th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs in Athens Saturday. The Heels remain undefeated with a 6-0 record. At an indoor track meet at Virginia Tech this weekend, Lauren Garrity set a UNC record in shot put with a throw of 61.5. In 60-meter hurdles, Portia Dobson provisionally qualified for the NCAA championships. Cancer is one of the leading killers in the U.S., and college students have joined the effort to find a cure. Enthusiastic students and colorfully dressed faculty came out to the quad during the weekend to promote Relay for Life, an annual event aimed at raising money for cancer research. There was lots of singing and lots of grubbing in front of South Building. Even a certain campus celebrity is giving his support of Relay for Life, leaving students to feel good about raising money for cancer research.
Roy Williams is like such a great coach, and just having him back is, you know, and the fact that he actually wants to reach out to the students, it makes you feel like, oh yeah, he really cares about us.
Roy Williams continues to do great things for the Carolina community off the basketball court as well.
Well, I actually got to stop by, saw the food, and I was going to check it out, but I missed Roy. That was pretty upsetting.
Sounds like a very good cause, Relay for Life.
Yeah, he apparently was only there for a very short time, so don't feel too bad. I'm sure he has a tight schedule these days. Let's go ahead and get to our sports trivia question this week. Anybody got an answer?
Well, I don't really keep up with the new recruits. I have a few friends on the rowing team.
Yeah.
Might seem like a good choice.
Yeah, I have some friends on the lacrosse team, so I'll go with C.
I think we're divided.
We're divided, yeah.
And you're also both wrong. The answer is B, baseball. And looking at the recruits, head coach John Fox might get this year. He could potentially have the top recruiting class in the nation 2 years in a row.
We tried, though. Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Lincoln, Taft, Johnson, could you pick them out of a lineup?
Carolina Week reporters Jenny McClendon and Amanda Eiler decided to take advantage of the President's Day holiday.
They showed these pictures, Abe Lincoln, William Taft, and Lyndon Johnson, to Carolina students to test their presidential knowledge.
Abe Lincoln? Bill Clinton. Close. It was Abraham Lincoln, but Clinton is a close guess.
What's that? Oh, man. God, that's Eisenhower.
Oh, I know him. He was in the 60s. I'm drawing a blank.
It's Lyndon Johnson. Was that even a president? Yeah, he was a president. It's actually Lyndon Johnson.
I'm gonna guess Taft.
Ooh, he looks like Grant. Grant? Looks like you? I don't know. Garfield? Close, it's Taft. But you're 2 for 3, so that's pretty good. I don't know, the only one clearly I would have got was Lincoln.
That looks pretty tough. And that does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Be sure to watch our coverage of the student body president runoff election Tuesday night. Have a good night.